Yeah, I'm not even lying. I wish this was a fake story.
What kind of music do you make?
I like to think of it as lo-fi mixed with ambient, mixed with post-rock, also mixed with metal. I just kind of take everything I listen to and then just kind of fuse all that together, and then that's kind of how I like to describe it, I guess. Another way to describe it, really.
How did you get into music?
Well, I was doing music all my life. It kind of started when my family had like a lot of issues when I was younger. And my brother had this electric guitar that he had from his friend. And I was never supposed to touch it, but I did anyways. And then, yeah, anytime there was like a huge conflict between me and my dad, I'd kind of like lock myself in my room or in the bathroom. And I would just like play guitar because it was like the only thing I could do. Because, you know, what else are you supposed to do when right after, you know, your dad yells at you, right?
Of all the instruments, why did you choose to play the guitar?
Well, I didn't actually specifically choose it. It was just more like it was there. And then I just kind of played it because, you know, if a piano was there, I would have started playing piano, you know. If a drums, okay, maybe not a drum set because that'd been too loud, but like, you know what I mean. Guitar, it was just, I guess I realize it seems like I'm not interested in guitar, but I am. I feel like it was just kind of comforting, that, you know.
Do you remember the first gig that you played?
I did, and it's a stupid, oh my god. It's a horrible, horrible story, but I'm gonna tell it. It was, my school was hosting these things called rock school concerts. And anyone who signed up for the rock school program it was like mandatory to play at these shows. And then I was in the band that not the most competent musicians were, because I didn't know anyone. I was new to the school, and it was grade 10, and I just joined this new school, and I didn't know anyone. So it was like, okay, so what happened was there was the band, and then the drummer was so off time that the teacher was like, okay, don't play the drums, just clap. And then the bassist learned the song in a different key, and for some reason, she didn't know how to transpose. She didn't know how to just move her fingers a couple frets and then play the exact same thing. And then, so then she was just like, just don't play the bass, just clap. So we had two clappers, two vocalists, and me, the guitarist. And actually, I don't mean to degrade them. They're cool people. They're nice people, but they're just not competent musicians. And then, so there was me on like me in this band with two clappers, two vocalists. One of the vocalists was a clean vocalist. The other vocalist was a screamer, because the song that we did was a Taylor Swift and a Korn mashup song. So we did that, except there was no drums, no bass. There was a screamer and a singer. And so I was like, it was concert day. It was not hard to get the song tight because there's just 3 members and fucking clappers. And then, so then we played, and then turns out that concert was the only concert that was so full that it was a fire hazard. It was a fire hazard because there were so many people in that room. So many people got to see me and like my band playing this only song that was a Taylor Swift and Korn mashup song. And oh god, that is why I cry at night. That's why. And so that's my first ever gig. All the other gigs were fun. They were all really fun, but that was my first gig. I had a Jackson Dinky guitar, and that's you know what those guitars look like?
No.
Oh, those guitars are they're like metal, okay? I was into metal back then.
Yeah.
And they're like a metal guitar. I was just walking up there playing like campfire chords on this like metal looking guitar, and it had like a reverse headstock. It was brutal. It was a brutal guitar.
Where did the name Waterfall come from?
Well, I actually thought of it when I was actually dating a girl. And then we were both musicians. She was a bassist, and I was a guitarist. And we're supposed to be like this duo, and it was gonna be cool. And then we were like thinking of band names, and then one day I just thought of Waterfall Eyes, and yeah, I just thought it was like a cool name, and like that was it. And then it wasn't after until like we separated that I started getting like, you know, like really sad because I had no one to support me through my like emotional, like, you know, my emotional trauma, I guess. So then I started getting really sad, and then I was making a lot of music. I was like writing a lot of songs because that's kind of like what I was doing every time I got sad. I would just like lock myself in my room and just like play unplugged electric guitar for like hours, and then, but then like yeah, I was like, I need to have a name for myself for like, you know, my music, and I thought of Waterfall Eyes was like the name that me and my ex was supposed to have, and I thought that was very fitting because you know, I'm sad and I cry a lot, and it's kind of, you know, it's fitting. That's all, you know.
Who are some of the people that influence and inspire you?
I would say Jesse Doreen from the band Counterparts. I love this band. Shouts out to Counterparts. And he's like, Counterparts is like this melodic metalcore band, and they kind of patented melodic metalcore. And then it was kind of like most metal was just like power chords, just dun dun dun. But then Jesse Doreen made these. He was the lead guitarist of that band, and then he just had these like really beautiful, like twinkly guitar sounds, and then it was like beautiful. And like metal was always beautiful to me, but he took it to like another level, and then like to the point where, you know, I like stalked him on Instagram, and like I never do that with bands. I never find out who the members are. I just listen to their music, and then that's it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good band. But then like Jesse Doreen really like patented anything signed by like Dreambound, that record label, and like all melodic like hardcore bands are like just trying to be like Jesse Doreen, I feel like, you know. So that's one of my inspirations.
Outside your family, who has been your biggest supporter so far, if you had to choose one?
It'd probably be Mariel. Like that's kind of like an easy question. Like I feel like, you know, I like release my music. I don't really expect anyone to listen to it. I expect, you know, like it's just like I like to think of my music as like stuff that I have to shit out, and like it's shit. I like, not in a bad way. Like there's some songs I'm proud of, but like I have to shit it out, and I don't expect anyone to like listen to it, because it's just like, I'm sad. What am I gonna do with my time? Or how am I gonna take my mind off things? And music was the thing that took my mind off things the most. And then I feel like, you know, just like I just release shit, and that's just all I do. I just fucking write songs. I just release it. I don't expect anyone to listen to it. I don't want to improve it. It's just what I do, and like it's just what I have to do. And then but Mariel actually listens to my music, and that's weird to me, because I like, yeah, she just like, I didn't expect anyone to actually seriously like put my shit in the Spotify playlist, and I just thought that was just like, wow, people actually like listen to this. And like, because I think it's just trash. It's just something that I have to do to keep myself from like committing suicide. But yeah, so I'd probably say Mariel, and she's also 52 Records. Check out Olivia May.
So you've had a ton of new releases within the past year. Thief Tactics, Take My Mind Off Things, and Somatization, to name a few. By far, what has been your favorite song or body of work you've made?
Probably Take My Mind Off Things. I feel like that album was like actually listenable, because all my other stuff was just like shitty guitar playing over like shitty mixes, and they're just like, it's just, but then like I kind of embraced the shittiness of my music. And then, you know, I guess there's like a certain kind of beauty in like lo-fi and like literal just like purposely making things sound like shit. Well, not purposely, but like I don't know, there's like a certain charm to it, and that's the album where I first started doing that, where it was like I was just like embraced the whole lo-fi thing, and then yeah, so I'm pretty proud of that album. And if I had to choose a song from that, it'd probably be the opening song. It's got no guitar, it's just piano, it's all MIDI, I think. Can't really remember, but like yeah, the opening song is cool.
By far, what has been your biggest obstacle or hardship you've had to endure in your musical journey?
I don't really, know. I guess it was mostly, I guess when I was in high school, I was like desperately trying to search for a band to be in, and I would like agree to like be in bands that were just shit. I was in a Maroon 5 cover band, and that was pretty bad. That was like, we called ourselves Scarlet 6. And it was because we had 6 members and Maroon 5. Okay, anyways. So it was like, I was like so desperate to be in a band because, I don't know, it wasn't until like I realized that, I'm not very compatible with other people. And I'm just not very, like, I feel like I don't like people very, very much, and that gets in the way of me being in a band, because that kind of requires a lot of connection between the whole band. And like, you need to be like really good friends before you can even be starting to do music together. But then like, I was trying to like skip that step. I was trying to just be like, oh, you want to be in a band? Yeah, let's do it. Oh, you want to make shitty pop music? Yeah, I don't care. And I just had no self-respect for myself. And then like, I guess the obstacle there was like, I needed to realize that I needed self-respect and I needed to do things alone sometimes. And that's where Waterfall Eyes comes from.
Tell us about your upcoming release, All Things Terrible. What's the story behind it?
Well, All Things Terrible is kind of like, I just wanted to, show the world how I see humanity. And it seems really, really cheesy, but like, I named it All Things Terrible. And then all the tracks are like, all the song names in that album are terrible things, like trash, like vomit, like war, and like shit like that. And then at the end, like the very last song is called Us, as in like, us, humanity. Because I just wanted to like, I wanted people to realize my view on humanity and how shitty of a species we are. And like, I just feel like, the fact that I would put us in like the same list as like trash, like vomit, and like a bunch of other, I can't really list them off, but like, I just feel like, I needed to do that. Like, I feel like when I say like, yeah, I don't like people, like, people are like, oh yeah, me too, man. Like, man, the global warming, bro, shit, man. Like, okay, yeah, like, yeah. But it's like, I feel like I take it to an extent where like, it's so easy for me to like isolate myself and just like never see a human in like months. And like, I know that's not healthy, like humans need to interact, but like, I just wanted to show the world how much I hate everyone. And I think that's like the whole premise of it. It's not a very charming premise, but
do you have any projects you're working on that you want your audience to know?
I guess All Things Terrible is a thing that I'm working on right now. I've also have a collab with the famous Soulless. That collab is pretty sick. Like, I guess I'm not one for promotion, but like, pretty stoked on that. And I got like a bunch of other projects going on too. But, 52 Records has big things, man.
What are your long-term goals for your music?
I really don't expect this to go anywhere, because, I don't know, I never really thought of myself as a very confident musician anyways, so it's just kind of like, I don't really expect myself to get anywhere, but it's hopefully like I can build like some sort of community where like, you know, the sad and like the broken and like, you know, can like forget about their worries for a bit, by like hopefully listening to my music. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I don't really know, but hopefully I do the world good. Hopefully.
If you could share a stage or collaborate with somebody, anybody in the world, dead or alive, who would it be?
Aftertide. He's my friend from Toronto. He used to like be based in Vancouver, but then he had to go to University of Toronto, and that's where he studies now. He's a good friend of mine. He's like, you know, I don't care about like playing shows with like famous people. It's like I don't even fucking know them. Like, but then like Aftertide's a really good friend of mine, and like when I was in high school, I always wanted to like be in a band with him. And like I was always bugging him about shit, like, dude, like we should do this song together for the Rock School concert, like we should do this. And he would always be like, fuck you, I hate you. Like, cause I admit like back then I was not very good at music, but like at least not as good as him. And like he's an amazing guitarist. He's like probably the best guitarist I know. And like he's kind of, you know, what made me strive to be not only a better guitarist, but better engineer too, because he just knows everything about anything music related. Like it's weird. That guy's got like, he has like some sort of Wikipedia inside his mind, man. It's weird. Like, but yeah, I want to, you know, play a show with him. But nowadays he's saying shit like, man, we should be in a band, bro. We should make music together, man. I'm like, what the fuck? Why didn't you say this like when I was in high school? What the fuck? It's so weird. But yeah, I guess times change. But yeah.
What other hobbies do you have besides music?
Oh, I like to skateboard. I like to snowboard. I used to work at Grouse Mountain, and I was a lift operator, and that was probably like the worst and best job I've ever had, because I was like got free snowboarding, but the transit so much. Okay, yeah.
If you weren't a musician, what career path do you think you would have taken?
Well, I mean, I honestly wouldn't even consider like this whole music thing a career anyways, because I'm not making any money. I made $20 from DistroKid the other day. That was pretty sick. But I really don't know. You know, I guess I don't know. Probably underwater welding. They make bank. It's like, I think it's seasonal too. So like, you know, you can work for like half a year, and then like the other year you just chill. That's pretty chill. Maybe underwater welding. That'd be a cool job to have, other than guitarist. Lift operator. Yeah. That too.
Any shout outs you want to give before we finish up here?
Shout out to Eddie, Aftertide, and Mariel, and I guess that's about it. Trying to think of someone else. I know I'm missing someone. And Carlo, the leader of 52. And okay, there's someone, but I'm forgetting. You know what? You know who you are. Just I'm sorry. I'm dumb. Like I'm actually, my memory sucks, but you know who you are.